ever do anything to go out in the streets and do some research to find out what the real number is? Of course not, because we don't care. The sex trafficking industry, the stripping industry, the porn industry, all of these different sexually thriving industries are feeding on the dysfunction of this perverted society. I'm not saying you can't make your own decision to be a stripper or to be a porn star or whatever, but if we did a full comprehensive study, I am more than sure that we will find out that a lot of these women have been molested in their young ages or have been misused or abused or experienced rape in these different environments. That's why I get pissed off when I see women glorifying the stripping industry. I know what happens in those industries. In those worlds. So tell the real story about it. And let our daughters be able to decide from looking at the negative aspects and the positive aspects. Not just the fact that you're taking home $1,000 in ones every night. But the bigger thing is that the plight of women in this world, and this didn't just happen in America, this has been happening for some time now, is why we are in the condition that we are in, facing world wars, biological weapons, weather warfares, vaccinations in our communities. Just all of this madness happening around us, mass poverty, mass ignorance, mass suffering, mass shaming of women. Saudi Arabia just started allowing women to drive, and we bigging that up. All of these things are an exact reason for the way that the world is in the condition that it's in now. It's like you put all of these numbers into a calculator and add it up, and the equal sign is going to be equivalent to the world that we're living in today. We produced a Donald Trump. We earned, and when I say we, I'm talking about the collective. We earned Donald Trump. We earned somebody who would proudly say that he grabs women by their pussy and talk and degrade women and treats his wife like a stepchild or whatever you want to call it. We earn that by constantly overlooking, constantly denying the savage brutality that has been inflicted on women around the world. We earned him. So I wanted to say that. I wanted to say, be mindful about feeling shame. If you had to question whether you should put this up on social media, if you're wincing every time somebody puts a comment, you don't know what they're going to say. If you feel any sort of anxiety when you're away from your phone, when you're not checking what people are saying about this, take it down, because your health and your well-being and your emotional and mental well-being is worth more than you joining on a chorus of letting the world know. We know women, we know. I know more than anybody. But just in the same process of starting the conversation, make sure you start your effort to heal yourself and to be well so that you can live and thrive. I wanted to say real quick, just to pivot from this and be clear, just back to this other subject. Like I've talked about before, and I talk about in my book, the fact that we've had pedophiles in our communities for some time now. And a lot of that stems from slavery. And boys were being molested by slave masters and young girls were being molested as well. But, hurt people. But we've had years and years and years and generations now where grandmothers and mothers and people in the family would find out that a man in the family was molesting a child and not say anything. So this is not only on the men who have inflicted this harm on us, it's on us as women to take control of our bodies and of our lives and the situations that we put our children in. I really needed to stress that because there was a young sister that was on a radio show I used to be a part of, and she talked about how she told her mother about, I think it was her grandfather who was molesting her, and her mother basically told her don't say anything, and she told somebody else in the family, another woman, and her mother told her don't say anything. This is why I always say we can't only point the finger at men. It is imperative for us as women to do a serious, full up and down analysis of where we are, the type of world that we've given birth to, because we've given birth to this world. We didn't do it alone, but they came through our wombs. So for us to be cognizant of what we've given birth to, and our lack of intervention on behalf of our daughters. My computer just who have suffered this type of abuse. And with that said, I also wanted to talk about, there's a lot of conversation, and I constantly see this, and I talked about this in the other video I told you about single women, and how single women now have become this catalyst to talk about everything that's wrong with the Black woman. You single, so your opinion doesn't matter. You don't have a man in your life. You're not in a relationship, so nobody wants to listen to you. Excuse me. Do you know how many people there are that are in dysfunctional relationships, or people that are on social media fronting and pretending like they're living great lives, and women in particular who are not able to be and live the full lives that they want to live? So for me, it's not about whether you're in a relationship or not. It's about whether you are striving to be your highest and best self. I tell people all the time, it's about being what you want to attract in a relationship. So for me right now, I'm creating the relationship that I want in my life through the way I treat myself. I'm going to say that again. I am creating the standard of a relationship and the type of relationship that I want in my life by the way that I treat myself. This society, and the Black community in particular, has branded women with this idea that there's not enough men for us, that we'll never be good enough if you don't do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. You know what I mean? That there's 50 other women out here that will. If you don't have this type of shape, this type of body, if you don't look this type of way, if you're not this type of woman, if you don't know how to do this in the bed, if you're not that, constantly imposing upon us everything that we're not. So we have this mindset of lack now, where we're focused on what we don't have. We're focused on what other women have. We're focused on what men could do, what men are accustomed to. Like the whole conversation, it's not normal for a man to cheat. It's not normal for a man to be monogamous. All men cheat. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that shit. I watched a video of the Braxtons, God bless their soul. That's just if there was any reason for you to not be following the footsteps of celebrities just because they're celebrities, they're it. And I'm only talking about this particular subject. I'm not downing them, but as women. But where they were talking about how their mothers told them, let a man cheat in peace. Don't ask unless you're ready to do something. So basically, another example of teaching women and training your daughters to live in a world where they are not able to experience love, the fullness of love, where they can't go to bed at peace at night because they're constantly worried about what they man doing, but at the same time can't say anything about it. That was the most foolish and ignorant thing I've heard a woman say in a long time. I'd rather be single than to live that sort of life. And understand that and a lot of women came on my Instagram page and agreed with that. I agree. If you're not going to do nothing, what's the point of saying something? Excuse me. There's a lot of things that can take place between leaving and not saying anything. If he's cheating, that means there's something wrong with your relationship. So if he's feeling like he's not getting everything he needs, then I guarantee you she's feeling like she's not getting everything she needs, especially if she's sharing her man with another woman. So we could seek we, meaning the man and the woman, could seek counseling. She may have some things she needs to work on. If she's not able to confront the issues that he has with her, then the cycle just keeps repeating itself. What are you together for anyway? Why would you stay in a relationship like that? So you can have a man? So you can have a body laying next to you? So you can have somebody helping you with the bills? We can make money? And this is so what I want to underscore is this mindset of lack. Everything in the universe is made up of abundance. Whether you say God, Allah, Jah, Ra, Amun-Ra, Selassie, whatever your concept of God is, the divine mind, the source, the creator, understand that God wants you to thrive. God wants you to succeed. I don't understand how women got taken out of that equation. How men are supposed to be the ones that get everything and we're supposed to take the scraps. In relationships in particular. No, you want a man that's going to be healthy. You want a man that's going to be faithful to you? Then hold out if you haven't come across that. You want a man that's going to be emotionally and spiritually attentive? Then hold out if you haven't come across that. Learn to develop and cultivate those characteristics within yourself. Because see, a lot of times women come to the table and want things from men that we can't ourselves bring to the table. You want him to listen to you, but you're not a good listener. You want him to talk to you and be communicative, but you're a horrible communicator. So if whatever it is that you seek in a relationship as a woman, just start embodying that yourself and don't listen to the world. Don't listen to what other women say. Don't listen to your friends. Don't listen to none of that. Create the relationship that you want with a man within yourself, meaning be loving and catering and forgiving and understanding and receptive to yourself. We haven't even properly learned how to love ourselves as women because of all of these experiences that we've had, because of the pain and the trauma that we've been through with our families and in childhood and in different relationships and with different women and all of the cycle of madness that women have. This is proof. This #MeToo, this is proof. A lot of women are living in hell. So we can't always keep coming to the forefront and talking about what men aren't presenting or how men have wronged us without acknowledging our own shortcomings or without being thankful for the experiences that we've had. I told the crowd I think I was in Louisville, everything you've been through as a woman, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, wicked, savage, whatever, be thankful. Because some women around the world live like that. You have to find a way to find gratitude in the struggle. You have to understand that everybody that comes across your path, every man, every experience is only meant to lead you towards your self-perfection. Don't have the victim mentality. Don't live in that. Seek guidance. Seek well-being. Understand that the universe and the creator wants you to win. So you got backup. You're not doing this on your own. But we got to stop embracing the victimhood concept. And I'm not even talking about the rape and the molestation now. We're on the concept of women, so many women being single now. We have promiscuous women out here. We have women with low self-esteem. Any woman that's on social media posting 20 pictures of herself every day, I don't care how fine she is not that confident within herself. Because when you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? We used to say real ballers keep their pages on vibrate. You don't have to scream it to the world. Beauty is represented in many different forms. So when you understand your self-worth, you start to change the concentration on the conversation. That's my Muhammad Ali moment. But you start to elevate the conversation that you have with yourself. Take consideration of how you talk to yourself every day, what you think about. I guarantee you, if you listening to me, do this for 2 days. Monitor your thoughts for 2 days straight and see how negative, or decipher if you're being negative towards yourself, if you're hindering yourself, because thoughts create things. Energy, vibrations, these are the things that I'm studying right now. We are creating worlds with just our thoughts. Things that are going to happen to us 2 months from now by what we're thinking about right now. This is why I say be careful with this movement that's happening right now, because these things are moving people, places, and things around. So for my sisters, we have to seek healing. I don't sit around and wonder, oh my God, what kind of man, where's my man at? There's no men out here. Oh my God, I'm an educated woman. I'm never going to be able to find a man that's educated. Oh my God, I like this. I don't even think like that. I know that he's just going to have to be a hell of a man to ride this roller coaster of life with me. I'm looking forward to that. That's how we as women have to start looking at this situation, because so much of how we live and how we